Hey guys, what's up? So I wanted to do a part 3 on the Federal Couragia tires that I did last year. A year ago in January I did technically it was part 2 of the Federal Couragia. It was my 5,000 mile tire review, and then the original one, which was my initial impressions, which was recorded in October of 2018, also uploaded in January last year. So full circle, it's been a whole year now, and I haven't done an update on what I think of those tires and what happened to them. Do I even still have them? Where's the truck, etc., etc.? And so I am going to discuss that in this video, give you the lowdown on what I think, what I thought of those tires, what happened to them. And it's really kind of a sad story, but stay tuned. I'll give all that info to you and my impression of those tires even now, and we'll see you in just a second. All right, so here we are, January of 2020 now, and I know that some of you may have been wondering, how have I thought of those tires after a full year? Did I actually drive the truck to Texas like I said I was going to in that last video on those tires, etc.? Man, it is really raining out here, which is why I'm using my phone and not my nice camera. I'm gonna get in the truck here. So this is that's my new truck. We'll get to that story here in a second. So, all right, now I'm out of the rain. So, yes, I did drive that truck all the way down here to Texas. I did drive it towing a trailer like I said I would. And I didn't just hit... No, it's still recording. Still recording. All right, this is going to be a very raw, unedited video. So, I did drive it down here. I pulled my 20-foot... red cargo trailer. You guys seen some other videos down here, packed full of stuff. It was over 10,000 pounds. I didn't weigh it, but it was heavy. I could feel it. I've towed enough trailers to know that it was heavy, and the truck made it just fine. No issues at all. No issues with those tires. I did it in January of last year. Came down through Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Oklahoma, into Texas, and here I am now. I'm in southeast Texas. Everything worked just fine. I got very busy, got a new job down here, and the job's had me working tremendous amount of hours all through the summer, spring and summer and fall of 2019. I got a little bit of time, which is why I've been doing more videos here in 2020, but what happened to that truck is, on my way to work about 6 a.m. in the morning, a little bit before 6, I was trying to turn into the parking lot going into work, and I got hit by another vehicle. And I was in the turn lane. The vehicle had the right of way. It was my fault, unfortunately. It was a mistake. You know, we all make them at some point or another. You know, I've driven realistically millions of miles and never had a major mistake, and I finally had one. And I think it can happen to anybody. But I made a mistake, and I started to pull out and turn into my turn lane, or into my turn into the parking lot. And it was dark out. There was lots of lights everywhere. And you know, I'm making excuses at this point, but I got the video footage from the other guy's dash cam. I'll try to throw that up here on this video so you guys can see from his perspective what happened. You can see my truck in that video. But ultimately, he hit me, and he clipped me at an angle right in the front. And he was in a 2019, a brand new Nissan Frontier, a little two-wheel drive Frontier, which, unfortunately, on that 2004 Super Duty, was enough that it bent the frame. It bent the frame and shifted the frame 6 inches to the driver's side, and so the whole front end of that truck was offset 6 inches. And if it hadn't been for that, I would have probably fixed the truck. I'll try to roll in some other pictures as I talk about this. But, you know, at first glance, it looks like it needed a new front clip and some body parts, but the frame was too bent. And by the time I calculated the cost of replacing the frame and all the body work and everything else that would be required, it was more than what the truck was worth. So I sold it. Pennies on the dollar. Unfortunately, I had a lot invested into that truck, and I actually really liked that truck. but it's gone now. It ended up sitting in my driveway for a while until I finally came to the conclusion it needed to go away. But in the meantime, I had those Federal Courages on it the entire time. They never gave me a lick of trouble. Now, they did start to get pretty noisy. They got pretty howly there towards the end. I don't know how many miles I ended up having all said and done. Probably, oh gosh, I had to have at least 20,000 miles on them, I think. They were starting to wear down pretty good too. In fact, I'm thinking I probably had more than 20,000 on it. But regardless, yeah, they started to howl pretty good. I did rotate them once, so I did better on that than I did on the previous tires with those Firestar tires I did a video on here a while back. But grip was phenomenal. Vibration started to increase, so they're a great off-road tire. This is my impression in the end. If you've got the money and can afford to spring for a nicer tire, then by all means definitely do it, especially if you're going to be using this vehicle on the highway as your daily driver. If you live locally to your work, you're just right around town, short trips, probably wouldn't be that big a deal. But the way that I was using it, I was driving 150 miles a day, 75 miles one way and back, and that's a lot of highway driving on those tires. And if I was to replace those tires, in fact, I was already making plans at the end of this year, at the end of 2019, I would have been in the market for a new set of tires already. And I wasn't going to go with that aggressive tread of a tire again. I was going to go with something milder, more mild-mannered for road handling and quietness and smooth. I was going to go for that this time since I was driving so many miles. But that tire, if you're not doing the miles, is a fantastic tire. If you're an off-roader, you get into the mud, phenomenal. They grip and they grab. In fact, that white Chevrolet Express van right there, I'll just show you right now. It's got the same tire. I put the exact same tire on it. Different size, of course, but I put the same tire on it when we got the tires for the truck. We got tires for this too. And there they are. Here's the Federal Couragias. Hers are getting pretty worn down there also. There's probably about 30% tread. That's the back. Here's the front. And yeah, they're getting wore down. On this van, they've been super noisy. They're getting really bad too. I can't wait to get rid of them, to be honest with you. I think they'd be great for an off-road toy like a Jeep, but not on a daily driver. That's my verdict. The Nanking Mudstars I ran on my 96 F350, which was a super aggressive treaded tire, I think was actually a better tire. As far as it didn't have the 10-ply rating, it wasn't as strong of a tire as far as load capacity and stuff, which is why I didn't go with it the second time. But I liked how it held up and performed better. These are wearing really fast. And I'm sorry that it's not very bright out here today, but yeah, they haven't held up or worn very well. So, good tire for the money? Yeah, I'd say they are. If you are going to primarily use it short distances around town or for a dedicated off-road or weekend vehicle, great choice. If you're going to be a highway traveler, no, I would go with something different for sure. So what happened? 2019 was the year of vehicles for me, so I desperately needed something fast and in a hurry, and we were in a pinch and didn't have a lot to work with, no down. Unfortunately, we took the full coverage insurance off the truck. The cost of moving to Texas and getting everything reestablished just kind of drained us dry, and we were cutting expenses everywhere we could. So we put liability only on that truck, and so I didn't get a new truck out of the deal. The other guy did. So here I was stuck with a truck that was no longer running or no longer driving. And so my wife and I broke down. We bought this, a 2014 Nissan Altima 2.5S. Drove it all summer long, and it was actually pretty decent. Okay gas mileage for an Altima. Didn't get quite what I thought it was supposed to get. It was getting average about 30. Did have to put new tires on it too. And unfortunately, just before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas, this thing right here, sitting at a stoplight, or coming, actually rolling to a stoplight, I was still moving, it died on me. It just died. I coasted it into a parking lot and it would never restart. Had it towed to the Nissan dealer, which they had it a little over a week, and it ended up being that they determined the engine is seized. So 150,000 mile car, in my opinion, in a modern car, that's not very many miles. It needs a new engine, and I still owe money on it. Of course, isn't that life? So now you guys are getting a little insider view of my life. So I owe money on that, and they don't run anymore. And I wrecked my truck. Starting to sound like a country song. That's why this is a sadder video, but yeah, you give you guys an inside look into my life. But my wife and I did break down, and we bought this. So this is the car replacement for fuel mileage and the truck replacement for a truck. It's kind of a middle of the ground, meets both requirements needed, but it was also selected because I drive so many miles, I'm on the road so much now, for comfort. Fantastic truck, love this truck. Haven't had it super long yet, so we'll see what the long term is on it. I'll keep you guys posted on this, on how well it does, but this is the 2016 Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. It's got the 3-liter V6 diesel in it. 4-wheel drive, Laramie Longhorn. So that's my new truck, that's my new toy, and somebody in Mexico, because that's where my truck ended up going, somebody from Mexico came up and bought it, said that they could take that truck to Mexico and fix it. So my truck might still be alive. It might be alive in Mexico somewhere, I don't know. But there you have it. There is the story and the third part and last part of the Federal Couragia tire review. Peace. Till next time. Bye.